What's up, guys? Welcome back. BJ Lines again with Honey Wildlife. Thank you guys for joining us today. Today we're going to be shooting again at 30 yards and trying to relax. Long day at work, and it's time to get some relaxation and get some shots in. So I just wanted to answer a question that was asked to me about shooting traditional equipment. The question is that if I like to shoot every day, because that's the only way that I can stay on point with traditional equipment, is if I shoot every day. And there's some truth to that. Of course, practice makes perfect, and the more you practice, the better you get. So I just want to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about practice. Should you practice every day? And if you didn't love it, why even continue to do this? I love shooting traditional equipment, and I love shooting every day. I get out here and I shoot as much as I can. So that's the main thing for me, is to get out here and shoot. Traditional equipment, yeah, you got to shoot a little bit more to stay on, but for the most part, if you're shooting consistent with your release, and stuff, every time you pick up your bow, you can. It's just like anything else. Just like shooting a compound bow, you can go a couple of days or a couple of weeks without shooting, and really get back into the rhythm. That's pretty much what happened with me. I took a couple of months off, and so that's the whole reason we're doing this video, is because we're trying to get back on point for our tournament that's coming up in July. So that's our road to success. Is we're going to be practicing as much as we can, because we do have some traditional shooters that are coming down from out of state and stuff, and these guys shoot really, really good. So I want to stay competitive. That's my main thing, is I want to stay competitive. I want to try to. Of course, I want to try to be the best. I want to try to be number one, but I definitely want to try and make at least the top 5. That's my goal. If I can make the top 5, I'll be extremely happy. But with the talent of shooters that are coming, I'd be really happy with that. But for me, I enjoy shooting every day. I enjoy coming outside, and it kind of helps me to unwind, and I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy it so much that there's times when my wife gets irritated with me because I want to be outside shooting all the time. But this is a sport that I truly am passionate about, and I love to shoot archery. I love to hunt with traditional equipment. I love to be out there in the field. So yeah, for me, it's a given. I love to do it. I don't mind coming out here every day and shooting, and those are some of the things I want to know from you guys. Do you guys mind it? Do you guys enjoy it? Or are you guys an occasional shooter where you don't mind taking a couple of days off and then you shoot, and then you're kind of ready? I know some of the guys that are on the team, I know they like to shoot every day, and some of the compound shooters, man, they shoot from long distances, 70, 80 yards, and they're practicing 70, 80 yards, and once they get in close, man, those shots are easy for them. So that's one of the main things is practice. Practice makes perfect. That's the main thing. Practice makes perfect, and if you want to be perfect at shooting your equipment, then you have to practice. That's just the thing about it, and especially with traditional equipment. They do sell a lot of stuff that, they sell these little sights that you can put on there, and they sell all these other gimmicks that you can put on your bow. And for me, I find I never shot with a clicker, and a friend of mine kind of introduced me to the whole clicker situation, and it's kind of helped me out. Once I get to my anchor point and my clicker goes off, then I'm in my mind already. I know I'm ready to shoot. So if you guys haven't shot with a clicker, I definitely highly recommend it. And if you guys need help as far as with how to set it up and how to get the clicker to fit you, shoot me a comment, and I'll make a video on that so you guys can get set up with a clicker. So basically, I shoot extremely traditional, just your typical arrow. I went with my my fletchings. I went with a 2-inch bat wing, and they are kind of, I don't know if you can see that, they are kind of helicoptered. They're heloed in the right direction, and I like them. I like the way they shoot. On this bow, I don't have to have an extremely heavy tip because it shoots the 125s really good. Some of my other traditional bows that I shoot, I have to have like a heavier tip. I'm shooting on one of my bows, I'm shooting a 150 grain tip with a 100 grain insert. So it's a pretty heavy arrow, but I mean, once that thing connects, man, it's doing some damage. And that's what I shot my deer with last year. If you check out the video, I shot him with a 150 grain tip with a 100 grain insert, and man, and I did a bad shot on him. I hit him far back and in the gut zone, and it was horrible. Once we recovered him, and he didn't end up going more than I believe he ended up going about 65 yards and did a circle, and that's where he piled up. So, but on these bows you can get a bunch of connectors. You know, you can get sights put on here, and you can put scopes on here. Some people shoot with a peep, believe it or not. They shoot with a peep on your compound for your sights. I've never done that. I like to full traditional, just the clicker. I use my stabilizer. My other equipment, I don't use stabilizer, but on this one for tournament and stuff, I went to kind of the unlimited with the recurve kind of style. It's called the aided class, and I have my stabilizer and my clicker, and then they have another class that is full traditional, straight off the shelf, and that's what I shoot. That's what I've shot before. So, but today we're just going to be kind of tuning in and working on our aim, our form, and the main thing I'm going to try to do today is keep my front arm a little bit stiff and try to hold it a little bit longer and a little bit harder on my aiming point, because I notice once I'm shooting, I go back and watch some of the videos, I am kind of pulling to the left. So we're going to try to fix that today. And again, we're, like I said, mentioned before, we're still shooting at 30 yards. You know, when I shoot at these distances at 30 yards, the first arrow always scares me because I don't know where it's going. And you know, arrows are expensive, man. You're probably shooting about, depending on what you shoot, anywhere from $10 to $20 an arrow. So you know, you don't want to end up breaking one or losing one. So that's the main thing, is you don't want to end up losing that bad boy, because you know, $20 is $20. It gets expensive shooting traditional, any type of archery. It gets expensive. So of course we want to try and keep everything on the target. And I don't know why I don't buy more targets. It's kind of like, I hate spending money kind of deal. So I'll shoot one target until it's completely gone. And I'll show you right now, I'm shooting low. I got one arrow to go into what I call the 10 ring, but other than that, I'm still shooting really low. So let's go out and check them out. Let's see what we're shooting. That was our first round. Just getting warmed up, I guess you can say. We're going to try to get warmed up and try to get them all in the 10 ring, hopefully, if we can. So right here, I know I gotta raise it up quite a bit. You can see on that I was really low, so we gotta raise that bad boy up. We'll do one more round and see if we can't get a tighter group in the 10 ring now that I get the jitters out. So I hope you guys get out there and practice, and especially if you guys got some hunts and stuff like that, practice your yardage, and try to estimate your yardage. That's what kind of kicks my butt too, is out at the tournaments, guessing yardage. I have to I'm horrible at guessing yardage. Some of the guys can just look at something and, you know, right away there's 25-30 yards, and I'll be way off. Way low. So that's the main thing. Practice your yardage and get your yardage down, especially if you do a lot of tournament shooting. You want to get your yardage down. Before I came out, I was watching some bear hunting with traditional equipment. The guys on Gun Shy Archery, that guy shoots really good, and he puts a lot of animals on the ground. So you gotta practice your ranging. The next thing I want to do, hopefully I'll be able to do a video, is I'm getting some blunt tips, and that's gonna open a wider range of targets for me. So that's gonna be awesome. And then once it starts getting colder, we'll start heading out for some rabbits. And last year I didn't get to go out quite a bit. We had a video quite a bit of hunters last year. So, man, this 30 yard range is, I'm on target, but I'm just kind of all over the place. But if I can keep hitting foam, we'll be all right. You know, those points add up, but it's those bad misses that kick my butt. So hopefully it can fix those. You can see on this one how wide my grouping is. So my grouping's kind of still pretty wide. So definitely need to work on that, and try to get that fixed. Definitely. So, but hopefully, again, I'm gonna go over real quick how I'm shooting, and maybe it'll help you with yours. I string walk mine, and then once I get to a certain yardage, 30 yards actually, I think I can make 35 and be on point. I think I just haven't done it. So I think once I get comfortable, then I'll be able to. So on here, I don't know if you can see it, I got a little black mark where my knock is. So when I put my arrow on, I'm going right above that, and I don't ever go to that black mark. And here's the reason why. And it may not be this way for a lot of people, but for me, I'm a little bit shorter, a little bit wider at the shoulders. I'm a big boy. So when I shoot, if I go all the way straight up to the knock, I don't have a direct line down my arrow. My arrow starts to do this. And once my arrow starts doing that and I put my arrow on my target, I'm always going to shoot high or I'm going to shoot over. So when I string walk, I don't ever pass that position there, because if you can see, if I'm shooting 20 yards, I got a big gap and I'm able to look straight down the arrow. Now if I come up this way, now I'm looking a lot different down my arrow. So before I go all the way up to my nock, I'm down probably about an eighth of an inch lower than my nock, and that gives me enough room. When I pull it back, I'm comfortable and I'm able to see down my arrow. My elbow is directly where it needs to be, and when I make my release, I'm not doing anything funky, because I've tried to do it with it and I've noticed that either this one finger lets loose before the other, or it's tapping the other finger, because it's just an uncomfortable shooting position for me if I go all the way up to the nock. So I leave that down, like I say, about an eighth of an inch. That's as high as I go. So 35 yards for me is going to be almost dead on, or it's probably going to be 32, maybe 32 yards would be my dead on for my target. But for some of the smaller guys, I noticed they're able to go all the way up to the nock, come back and feel comfortable. Split finger guys, they also are comfortable coming all the way up. But for me, being I got little arms and a little wider up on top, when I try to come to that position, it starts sending my arrow up. So I don't know if that'll help you guys. Maybe try to bring it down about an eighth of an inch and make that your dead on point, and then start gap shooting from there, and hopefully that'll help you guys. So again, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the videos. I hope they help you out a little bit, especially you guys that are shooting traditional. And don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.